episode 937, Bite-Sized Lessons in a Big-Sized World.
It's time to train for life and love your journey. In this episode of Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, you'll learn new ways to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew your mind, body, and spirit. Please welcome your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive.
Happy day. It is Confession Day, and it is Friday. And you know, on Fridays, I love to have a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, though, this Confession Day is going to be a little bit different because it's really confessions of a happy mama. It is. We're talking about bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world. We're going to have fun with this. We're going to laugh a little bit. It's been a stressful week, but you know what? God has taken care of things. And it's just nice to kind of feel a little bit more relaxed. So I pray in your life right now that God is touching you and reaching you right where you're at, because he's got some things planned that you may not. And guess what? They are beyond anything you can imagine. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and to sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. I'm just kind of a little bit on fire here. I got to tell you, it has been a stressful week. We've had roller coasters, ups and downs. We've had issues with, I told you earlier, I don't know how many episodes ago, we had my son in a car accident and he was fine. And my youngest son was riding with him. We just have an expensive repair, but you know what? That's why you have insurance, right? And then on top of that, we've had issues with the house, but God is resolving those. And he's, truly showing me that one step at a time leads to miles of greatness, but you have to join with him. And it's just been so refreshing to see that you can actually understand that, when things get crazy, like my computer has still been acting up. I pray I get through this episode, and I know, Lord willing, it's going to happen. But I pray for each episode, even more so than I did before, because now I have to pray that my technology makes it through. Are you in that place with your life right now that you're just trying and praying to get through? Well, today I wanted to have a little fun with you. I wanted to talk to you about bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world. You always wonder what living legacy you are creating. The bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world tells you what you're teaching is what you're leaving. We don't ever want to think about death. It's kind of morbid, but as much as new babies are born, eventually we do die. It's called our life. And in between the beginning and the end, so to speak, now I don't believe there's an end. I believe you live eternally for obvious reasons, right? We're Christians, so you've accepted Jesus Christ into your heart. You're going to heaven, man. You are eternal. And that is awesome. We get to celebrate in heaven together. But while you're here on earth, you have responsibilities. And I know for me as a mom, I just want to have this living legacy. Like, what am I teaching them right now while I'm still alive? Not what I read. My youngest, Grayson, he pulled up my father's obituary. We were looking on the internet, and it's fun. I love it because he'll go and search out and say, Mom, I found this picture. I searched my name. I don't like that picture. Or, it'll just bring up discussions. And so we were reading through my father's obituary and looking back at pictures that we had posted. And he goes, Mom, it was really great to look back at those pictures and to hear the stories and know that, what? I know that guy, Mom. That was my papa. But we don't have to wait till we're dead and gone, so to speak, at least here on earth. We're, going to be in heaven. But we don't have to wait for that. We can have a living legacy right now. And that's what's so interesting. So I absolutely adore children. You know that, of all ages. And in fact, I do all I can to open my eyes and my heart like a child, where they live fearlessly and with unexpected expectation and wonderment. That's what I desire in my life. I want to have this childlike life, where you're searching out for the impossible always. So I asked my children their thoughts, and I got to tell you, it was very insightful. I asked them the question. I said, you know what? What's some bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world that you've learned? Whether I taught it to you. No. Let's go with that I taught it to you, that Dad taught it to you. What have you gathered? And so they thought it was kind of fun. It was this game. And so the first thing that they said was please and thank you. Later on, excuse me, was added to that. Of course, those are all what? Manners. Manners are important. And what jumped out to me when they said please and thank you, I thought, wow, that's ultimately you matter. Meaning the other person. They're coming from a selfless point of view and a point of gratitude where they're thankful. I'm like, yes. If I got that right, and that was the first thing out of their mouth, I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, yes. I had to celebrate. I did. I had that mama moment that I just felt like I was on cloud 1,000, and it was awesome. So what are you doing in your life with please and thank you? Are you really telling a stranger that they matter? Because it's important. For us to show gratitude, not just to a stranger, but to our own family. You know, there's something about relatives, right? And family. We just let everything hang out. Sometimes we got to treat them like a stranger and really reach out to them with a heartfelt gratitude. I love that. Number 2 was listen. That was even better. I was like, yeah, listen. I love to listen. And I think it's important that we listen more and more and more because we're so what? Consumed with our stuff, our busyness, that we forget the people that are right in front of us, the people who desire our attention. You got to listen. You got to listen. Here's another one. Now, these are no longer in order. I'm just naming them off. But the first one I had to tell you that was number 1, okay? It was fun to say that. Number 3, consequences to your actions, good or bad. That I think is very important for children to learn, but it's also very important for us as grown-ups. There are consequences for our actions and what we do, what we watch. We still have consequences. Our actions that we take, our children see that. Our community sees it. Your neighbor sees it. Your husband sees it. Your wife sees it. So there's consequences to your actions. And instead of always just kind of blowing through life, trying to hurry and scurry and just getting it done so you can check it off your list, maybe we need to slow down just a little bit and understand that, well, let me weigh this here before I make the final decision because there's consequences to my actions. Number 4, this is a fun one. Service with a smile. Always giving. Always looking for opportunity to take care of or to give, to extend a hand. And what does that say again? That you matter. And you do it to your children, you do it to your husband, you do it to even your enemy. And that's the hardest thing. The ones that you're supposed to forgive, that's when you're supposed to serve with a smile. You know, a lot of us can serve, but we mumble and grumble in our head like, oh, they really don't deserve this. You know, I don't know why I'm doing this. Why did I even sign up for this? Then why did you? Life is too short. So serve with a smile. So very important. Here goes another fun one. Number 5, unconditional love requires forgiveness. Rock on. I love that. But in order to have unconditional love, it has to come with forgiveness. They go hand in hand. How's that working for you? Maybe some of these that we're talking about here, you need to work on. Hey, that's okay. Well, I need to work on some of these too. There are moments that I'm like, whoa, I'm out of bounds here. Got to, check myself. We all need these reminders. So that's why I thought we'd have fun today and do bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world. Okay, so obviously unconditional love requires forgiveness. It's important. If you say you love somebody, it better be unconditional love. That's how Jesus Christ loves you. He doesn't sit here and say, well, if you meet all these requirements, yes, there are some requirements like do not kill. Okay, some of those, do not steal. Okay, we got those. But I'm talking about going even deeper. He doesn't sit here and keep score. But we tend to do that with our own family. We tend to do that with our friends. We do that with our coworkers. We can't do that. It's just unconditional love requires forgiveness. Number 6, stranger danger. Of course, it was a child saying that, right? We got to have it all rhyme, and it sounds wonderful. So yes, stranger danger, you may think of, don't say yes to puppies and candy and all of that when you're offered. Don't be tempted, Okay? Stranger danger, don't be tempted. Also, though, it talks about being observant. We walk around thinking that everybody else knows exactly what we need in our lives. But you know what? We got to be looking around also for everybody else and seeing what they need in their lives. What can I do to help you today? Boy, that changes the perspective completely. It takes this load off your shoulders of, oh, woe's me. It's not about me. God serves you that way. We need to serve also. So be observant. Yes, you got to be aware of the stranger danger, but it goes into the grown-up as being observant and being able to reach out when called upon and not being scared to. Number 7, don't eat too much sugar. I laughed at this one. I was like, great, we got a nutrition one in here. And it's true. I do remind my children to eat balanced. I don't tell them they can't have chips. I don't tell them they can't have ice cream. I don't tell them they can't have cereal. Do I like them having a lot of that all the time? No, I don't. But what I do tell them is watch what you put in your mouth, because it does matter what you are ingesting. And your body can't grow. You can't feed it off of sugar. Everybody would love it, I'm sure, in this world if we could just live off of sugar, but it doesn't work that way. We need other things. And so for them to say, don't eat too much sugar, I was like, yep, they're definitely my children. That was a fun one. We cracked up about that one. We did some funny dancing. I should have recorded all of this and put it on our new YouTube channel. And if you're wondering what that is, that link is in the show notes. So you can just click on that. It's Create Your Now TV. You'll want to go ahead and subscribe, because pretty soon we're going to be launching actual videos, and we will be doing live events too. So I'm excited for what's around the corner. Number 8, trust is earned. Whoa. Yes, it is. It just doesn't happen. And sometimes we find out the hard way. Kids especially, but we as adults too, we can get hurt. We can get hurt from our spouses lying to us or telling us things or hiding things. Think about it. So trust is earned. What are you doing today to earn a greater trust from your spouse? We need to be looking at that every single day, because that's important. That also means you're growing. And we never want to stop growing. We never want to stop learning. Number 9, be respectful. This kind of goes in line with manners, but I kept it separate as we were talking about it, because I don't know, with kids these days and even as adults, it drives me crazy when we just have this hierarchy, like it's all about me. Get out of my way. This is about me. I don't care if you're driving. I don't care if you're walking down a sidewalk. I don't care if you're playing in the park or at a restaurant. This whole attitude of it's all about me. So I thought, no, we gotta, really slam this one down, and we gotta be respectful. We're all here. We all have to wait our turn. We all have to be patient. So it's important to be respectful in our lives. Number 10, honesty is the best policy. I feel like we're in kindergarten again, but it's not. It's an easy way to kind of remember the honesty part. Honesty is the best policy. My children know this because, yes, I want them to be honest. Does that mean I'm going to like what they tell me? I tell them, no, I may not like what you tell me, but you better tell me before I find out. I want to hear that way, because then I can take care of it. Then I can, we can use the moment and figure out the next step. But if you sit here and I have to figure things out and I find out, and then on top of it, if you've lied, then we've got issues. Honesty is the best policy. Is honesty the best policy in your life? What about with your children? What about with your best friend? It's one thing, people think about lying and they're like, oh, I don't lie. Think about how you go about your day. I'm sure there's at least one thing in your life you've lied about. I can think about something that I've lied about, not deliberately, but you know how you stretch the truth? Well, I want to be kind of black and white here. I want to say a lie is a lie and truth is truth. So think about that. Stretch yourself, grow. Have God reveal to you areas in your life. Pray about it and say, you know what, Lord, tell me, show me what I need to be working on. Because you know what? This honesty thing is really big in relationships. and we need to work more on it. And we also have to understand that this honesty kind of goes in conjunction with number 5, which is what? Unconditional love requires forgiveness. And this whole thing, it all melds together. And that was what was so cool about our conversations. They would tell me this and it would lead into a story. We would be here for hours if I just told you all the stories. That's why one of these days we'll do this again and I will put it up on the YouTube channel so you guys can laugh with me. Which leads me to number 11, and that is laughter. Laughter is so much fun. Laughter holds a family together. It's amazing. Laughter uses all of our muscles in our bodies and some of the muscles that we wouldn't even think we were using when we laugh. It's healthy for us. It gives us an endorphin rush. It is something we all need in our life. And sometimes we just take ourselves too seriously. Laugh, laugh, laugh. And I'm telling you today, when we were chatting about this and I was going through with him going, really, you think that way? We were just having a blast. We were dancing our way around. We were just acting so silly, but it felt so good. And you can have that too, but you have to put a little effort into it. So include laughter in your life. Number 12, family time. Family time is very important to us. Now it's a little more challenging because Daddy is no longer here in the same state. So we have to figure out FaceTiming and, Skyping and things like that and actually making time for each other. I know ultimately that's going to bring us closer together. But family time is important. Maybe you have family movie night. We always did that. Our family's too big. A family of 7, that's great if you can afford it every single weekend to go out, but we can't. And we choose not to also. Some people, will say, well, that's what we spend our money on. I'm not judging here. I'm just saying for us, we don't go to every movie that's released every Friday or Saturday. We pick and choose. And then usually we wait to see the movie until it comes out on DVD and we go there or Netflix or whatever it pops up on. And then we watch it as a family that way. So it's important to have that family time. How well is that working for you? When was the last time you had a family movie night at home? I'm not saying you have to go out, just at home. Finding an old movie and doing it. Going to the rental place and getting it for $1 or, logging on to your Netflix, whatever works for you. But that family time is crucial. I can remember with the kids at bedtime, it would be the prayer and the bedtime story and singing. And that was something we always did with the children. As they've grown up, they read their own bedtime stories. They pray their prayers. Now, yes, for the younger ones, we still do. My husband prays for our children. I love that. I love that he does that. But sometimes our schedules don't always allow that, especially the older ones. They come home late or whatever. And so we don't get that time. So we make time in our schedule to come together as a family. And that means all 7 of us. And now that, we're separated by states and miles here, it's even more important. So make sure you have family time and that it's quality. It doesn't have to be quantity, but it needs to be quality. Number 13. This kind of made me tear up a little bit when my son said, this is my little Einstein. He said, nothing is impossible, Mom. And that's one thing I say a lot here on these episodes, I should say. On this podcast, I say nothing is impossible, and I believe it. I truly believe it. That doesn't mean that nothing is impossible, that you can't win the Powerball. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you want something in your life and you're praying about it and God is leading you that way, I'm telling you, He will provide the way. He will equip you. It's up to you to have the faith and believe and take that step and the next step and the next step that's going to lead you to miles of greatness. Nothing is impossible. And I just love that one when they said it. I was like, yes, another one. All these. Like I said, this is Confessions of a Happy Mama. It really is. Okay. So nothing is impossible leads us to number 14. This was an interesting one. Be nice to people even when they're not nice to you. So basically, it's take the higher road. How many of us are taking the higher road as we get older? When you were younger, do you ever remember something about the grumpy grandpa? You'd be standing in line with your mom and holding their hand, and man, this grandpa was just mean and grouchy. Maybe you even had one of those in your family, and you're like, I don't want to grow up to be them. And now you're growing up, and what is it looking like? It's important to look at ourselves in the mirror and have that reflection. And I thought, yeah, that's true. We've got to be nice to people even when they're not nice to you, because guess what? Life isn't fair. But it's not about being fair. It's about loving and showing and walking the way that Jesus Christ walked here on earth. That is what we're to do. So it brings glory and honor to God. So think about that. Be nice to people even when they're not nice to you. Take the higher road. The higher you can go, the better it is. Number 15. Here's another great one. Do the right thing even when no one's watching. I was like, yes, this is fantastic. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm on this mama high. I really am. I'm like, I maybe did something right. Oh, no, we have an accident here and there. We always have our mess ups. So I'm not sitting here saying we got it perfect, because we so do not. But the thing is when you sit here and you look at these bite-sized lessons, and you're implementing these in your life, and you're really, truly doing it on a daily basis, and you're consistent, you can change the world. Live, love, and impact. So this one here, number 15, do the right thing even when no one's watching. For a child, you definitely want them to do that, right? Because that goes back to what? Your trust, your honesty. You're raising them up, which is awesome. That's what you want to be able to do. Raise them up so they can go out in the world and they can live, love, and impact. You got to do the same thing, though. They're watching you. So are you doing the right thing? Are you cheating on your greens, and you're supposed to be eating greens, and instead you're enjoying the potato chips? Okay, I know. I've done the same thing. But think about it. Your choices in life have consequences, whether someone is watching or not. So think twice. Do the right thing even when no one's watching. Number 16, gotta have faith. They really didn't know how to wrap this one up, and we were kind of wrapping, I think, at this point in our conversation. This went on for about 45 minutes or an hour. It was a blast. And the gotta have faith was, they're like, Mom, I don't know what to say about Jesus except that you just do. You love him, you know? And it kind of goes with number 17 also, which is prayer and worship. We make that a part of our weekly lives, okay? And I say weekly, I mean, yes, it's daily. But we make sure as much as we can that we go together as a family to church. And now it's a little more challenging because obviously we're in different areas, different states. But, my husband's searching for a church for us. We're still going to church here. We're still involved. And that's important. We come together and we talk about it. My son, a couple weeks ago, was unable to go to church with us. And it was so sweet. He sent me a text. He goes, Mom, I'm sorry I can't make it, but please tell me what the sermon was about. And I was like, whoa, that's awesome. He wants to know. He wants to learn. Bite-sized lessons in a big-sized world. What are your lessons in life teaching you? Maybe some of these things you need to work on. It's okay. I'm still working on some of these. And I will be. Some days are better than others. Some days I feel like all I do is talk and I don't listen. Other days I'm like, I don't want any more of anything. Just go away from me. And I kind of get into the selfish mode. It's called we're human. But if we look at ourselves and we look at growing individually and as a family and with our relationship with Christ, oh my goodness, you can go and change the world with that. So today I really want to challenge you to live, love, and impact. Maybe you want some help with that. Click on the link, take aim. I would love to give you this free gift. It's called a complimentary coaching call with me. Don't you want to hear my happiness just for you? I want to give it to you. I want to give you some strategies that are going to work in your life that you can use right now today. Click on the link. We will connect together. You'll get an email from me, and we'll get you scheduled. I cannot wait to speak with you. Because it is fun when you feel like you are leaving a living legacy and you can see it in action. That is impact. So go out today, be present, be incredible, be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.